Okay, welcome to all. We are only a few people today. As I told yesterday, this is a general presentation about OpenOffice for OS2. It is a presentation to show what has been done to get OS2 OpenOffice 3 to work on OS2, and also for OpenOffice 2.0. So it will be a presentation of history of StarOffice and OpenOffice. It will show you how OpenOffice is working, how it is written at the source code level, how can you extend OpenOffice, okay. And then I will show you some features and the missing features about OpenOffice. I am an old OS2 user. Okay. I started with OS2 2.0, might be shared before. And about 10 years ago, 12 years ago, I started working on open source software because I was looking for new programs that I was needing for my work. I started working on MSQL first because I was needing a database system. I worked on SANE, the scanner access package. And this has been the start of my work on the open source field for OS2. I worked also for commercial programs. I worked for Cadwell, the maker of BlueCAD. For them, I did some work on BlueCAD for OS2 and BlueCAD for Windows. I worked also for Opera software. And I did the Opera 5 port about 10 years ago, I think. And now I'm working on OpenOffice for e-computation and OS2. My work, I'm working as a freelance developer. I work also in the industrial automation sector. I did also different web applications using PHP. I'm also working as a teacher in the Italian school. I think you already know what is OpenOffice, but a few words about it. OpenOffice is an office suite. It is an open source office suite. That means everyone can get source code and compile the source code himself. With OpenOffice, you have access to a few applications, mainly Writer for documents, Calc, Impress, Drawing, and also databases. This part is not completely working in OS2. It is a cross-platform application. It means it can run on different operating systems. The main operating systems supported are Windows, Linux, and Solaris. REST-free operating systems are supported by Sun. Then there are ports to other operating systems. One is the OS2 port. There are also other ports for other applications. I remember FreeBSD and a few others, but they are not complete ports. They are only startup or only concepts.
Haiku.
Sorry?
Haiku. OpenOffice for Haiku. Zeta. Zeta.
Oh. Okay. We had many releases of StarOffice and OpenOffice. I am talking about StarOffice because StarOffice is the base for the development of OpenOffice. The main core files are still the same. I mean, OpenOffice is working, the core OpenOffice is still working as it was working in StarOffice. Okay. They use a lot of things that were working in StarOffice. And StarOffice 5.1 was the latest release for OS2. Then Sun did StarOffice 5.2.6.0, but only for Windows. And StarOffice 5 was a native OS2 application. Then we got an OpenOffice 1.1 for OS2. This was not a native application. It was an application using the Odin runtime. This means OpenOffice 1.1 was using the Windows binaries, which were loaded using the Odin runtime. So it was not a native application. It was running inside an emulation environment. But I must say that Odin provides most of the required features for an application. When we talked about developing OpenOffice 2.0, we started looking at different ways to get OpenOffice to work on OS2. One way was to follow the 1.1 way, the Odin runtime. The other way was to use the Odin developer kit. The Odin developer kit is an unknown system to most people, it seems, but it allows you to recompile Windows source code as is and get a real OS2 application, which still needs the Windows, the Odin runtime. But you have several advantages in doing so. The third way was to try to get again a native porting. After looking at these ways, we decided to follow again the native way, the native porting, because we found some old code from the StarOffice 5 source tree. Not everything, but some of the file handling code, the memory handling code, something for the windowing code. So I decided to try to see if this code was still working for OpenOffice, because StarOffice and OpenOffice have a big difference. OpenOffice is Unicode. Everything in OpenOffice is Unicode, while StarOffice was still based on current code base. So it has been a test. We got the necessary changes to the old code, removing used parts, adding a lot of new stuff. But basically, we were able to get a native porting. And this code has been integrated in the Sun source code. So we were able to create a 2.4 release. It required some work because we missed 2.1, 2.2, 2.3. And then also we did OpenOffice 3.0. It has not been so difficult because most of the code was already on some servers. And then we upgraded to 3.1, which is still ready, and 3.2, which is, I think, almost complete and working to add new OS2 features. Here we can see how OpenOffice is working. There is a system abstraction layer which is interfacing to the operating system. Then there is a middle layer where there are other libraries to handle the OpenOffice working model and also a framework for applications. And on the top there is the application layer where writer, type, database are written. To get OS2 to work, we worked on the vesting modules and on the PCL module. OSL is dedicated to memory handling, file handling, process handling, so every kind of low-level interface. The other specific tool is module is PCL, which handles windowing, graphics, and printing. Then the middle layer is is mainly platform independent. I mean mainly because there are still some part of the source code in the middle layer that requires platform-specific code, and this has been a problem to find because nobody knows where are such things. Many of the original StarOffice developers are no longer working for Sun, so you can't You can't contact them, you can't ask them what happened. While the application layer is completely independent code, fortunately. Okay. I told that OpenOffice is an object-oriented environment. This means that every application in OpenOffice is written using the UNO object model, Universal Network Object. So every application based on OpenOffice must be based on their object model. This means creating new objects, new data, new interfaces. This can be done also on OS2. You can write a new application on the top of OpenOffice for OS2, but you need to keep the most part of OpenOffice binaries, because there is no real distinction between runtime, between the base kit and the application. So you are forced to keep with you 200, 300 megabytes of libraries. It's not really portable or it's really small, but you can do this. With UNO, you can also use other languages. So you can write basic applications. You can use BASIC also in the OS2 port. You can use Java. You can write Java applications on top of UNO. You can write also Python applications. The Java and Python's applications are not working in the OS2 framework because we do not have Java support, not a complete Java support. I'm working on this. And Python requires Java to be working, to be used also on OS2. There are also other languages, but they are not enabled. Okay. What gives us OpenOffice for OS2? The native port is giving us most features. This means that OpenOffice can do almost everything most people need. There are a few exceptions. One is Java and the second is Mozilla. Without these two components, we miss some things. Without Java, we miss everything related to wizards, for example, and to scripting. So we cannot use wizards, we cannot use some things in the databases, because OpenOffice databases requires Java to work. Without Mozilla, we don't have access to digital certificates. So we cannot add a digital signature to our documents. We cannot do secure connections, for example, when using web access. Java, with the current version, Java is partially working. I mean, OpenOffice is able to initialize the Java runtime and also to do something, but then there are still some missing parts. I need to understand what is missing. This is usually the most big problem in OpenOffice. If you have a problem, you don't know where you have a problem. And it can be everywhere, and most people cannot answer because they know only a part of the OpenOffice application. So it's really difficult to find some help. You can get only a few tips about where to look. Okay, the native port gave us a few problems. The first problem, which many people has, is the huge memory requirement. Huge memory because the OpenOffice libraries, I mean the DLL code, many of these libraries are really big. And if you don't have a big block of free memory in the OS2 memory, you cannot load it. So you can have 300 megabytes of memory, but this memory can be fragmented in a lot of smaller blocks. If this happens, you cannot load OpenOffice. And this cannot be, is a problem that does not have a solution. Usually, if you use the quick start feature, you can most of the times you don't have this problem because at boot time the memory is still not fragmented in a lot of small pieces. So you are able to load OpenOffice code. Another problem is the printing of Unicode characters, because printing is still using the current code base, and so Unicode characters cannot be translated to the current code base most of the time. And so if you have special characters or Arabian characters or Russian characters, you cannot print documents. This one will be fixed using a different printing system. Another thing that does not work is drag and drop. Okay. Because drag and drop has been completely rewritten in OpenOffice. It does not work as in StarOffice. And also there is no documentation at all, or there is only some basic documentation about how drag and drop works. I already did some work on this. I am able to start the drag and drop operation, but I need to complete the source code, the writing of the code, because there are many things to do to this. What can we do in the future? The source code for OpenOffice OS2 is already on some public subversion server. Here is you can get it with anonymous access. You can use this source code to recompile OpenOffice OS2. To do this, but you need some external libraries, because OpenOffice is using a lot of open source libraries. For example, VercuDB, IBM Unicode library, and many others. Some of them are included in the OpenOffice source tree, some are not. So you don't get everything from the tree. If you want to recompile the source code, I can give you my build environment, which already has all the required libraries already in the correct place. So you don't need to recompile them and to install in the right place. Another idea about the future is to use OOPS to print, because OOPS has shown to be working also in the Qt environment, and can print every kind of document from Qt. Also, OpenOffice for Linux is using CAPS, so probably it is a good idea to use this subsystem for printing instead of trying to write something else using OS2 API, which is not written for Unicode. So probably CAPS is a better way to go. We already have a Linux code. CAPS works for Qt, works for many users. So I think it's a good idea. I'm using CAPS for a new action printer I bought 1 month ago, and it worked immediately. Prints very well. It's fast. So I think it's a nice system. As I told before, drag and drop is on the wall. Drag is working, drop not really. But again, I need some work also, because drag and drop in OS2 is working in a different way than Windows. So we don't have something to follow to implement it. I needed to do some research, to do some tests actually. If you want to contribute, we need some help. For example, one help could be simply trying to compile the code, because every time someone who does a change in the source code tree, it is a good idea to recompile everything to see if they broke something for OS2 code. This requires some time. At the present status, it cannot be automated because the build system is not working perfectly under OS2. So I cannot create a build bot to do this. So if someone wants to do this kind of task, he is welcome. Because I'm basically the only person working on OpenOffice. So more people means more work, it means more features added to OpenOffice. I think that regarding future of OpenOffice releases, I mean 3.4, 3.3, and probably OpenOffice 4, I think that it will be not a problem to get them also in the OS2 version. If we can keep the code up to date, means if we can follow every interim release and try it, I think we will get every OpenOffice release in a short time. For example, the current 3.2.3 is ready since a lot of time. Okay. It was ready basically when some releases were released, also the Windows version. But it has been halted because I'm working on drag and drop, so I wanted to give some more OS2 features in it. Okay. If you have some questions, I can answer.
Yeah, there's one thing I have. I don't know. I think it has something to do with the Uni clipboard, because, for example, in the background I have a text editor file open. I copy it. I try to insert it into my open document, and the system freezes until I kill the text editor.
Yes, I got this a few times, but every time I don't know how I did it. So I need to find the correct sequence to do this every time, and I can look at it.
Yeah.
It is a random issue for me. So
is it possible that it has something to do with the uclip library?
I think the problem is that OpenOffice cannot open the clipboard, and it remains in the open call for some reason. But I needed to be able to replicate this issue.
Okay.
So if I have a sequence that every time gives this problem,
okay,
I will look at it. Also because I did the uniclip code, so I can look at every step.
But you need the version 3.0 or 0.3 instead of the 0.2.1 to get it working with OpenOffice 3 of uclip. There's the old port, the 2 version, and the new one, 3 version, but you need the new one for OpenOffice 3.
Ah.
No, it's a question, I don't know.
No, it's no. The last release of uniclip does not have a really big difference from the previous version.
Okay, because I'm not sure.
I think this is an older problem. I think I got this kind of clipboard freeze since the beginning. So it's not a recent problem. It has been there from.
Is there a difference in printing to PDF and to printing to a printer?
Right.
And I see a nice document with double byte characters, set of characters here.
Oh,
Export it to
you can
PDF.
export it to a PDF.
Yes, perfectly. And then if you print it, would that work?
And because printing is using the OS2 printing
Exactly.
subsystem,
PDF
exporting it does not go through the
That's right.
printing subsystem. It's a completely different code,
Yes.
and nobody knows how it works.
I believe Mozilla has some way of printing Yuri Dario. If I print a document with mixture of, say, Cyrillic or Japanese or something.
Yes, but I was not able to find how it works.
Yeah, okay. I'm just wondering if it's more like we haven't found the secret yet, or if it can't be done kind of thing.
Yeah. So if you can tell me where this is done, I can try to keep the same things in OpenOffice. Maybe this could be a faster way to get the Unicode printing to work. Other
Does this mean that you can really not printing with OS2 and OpenOffice, or does it mean only special characters?
Yes.
Only special.
Okay.
Because when you, for example, enter a bullet in an Office document, the bullet is a Unicode character.
Yeah. Black box.
Or a black
Or
or
something else.
you call depends. But it's a Unicode character. We don't use the bullets from the standard code page. I don't know why.
And then the program crashes, or that's
No,
not
you get a blank
present?
chart.
Okay.
You get nothing. So you get only the regular text.
Ah, okay.
Which is still annoying.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, for me, just one more question. I think it's not only me, but I heard often that the 2.4 port was much more stable than the 3.1 port. Do you have any explanation for this? Why this can happen?
For me, it works probably also faster than before.
So-
And also,
I
I
didn't
never
see
had
that.
a problem about stability.
I don't think there are more reports on 3.1 and 2.
Also,
Is that
you have to keep in mind that OpenOffice, the abstraction layer, is basically the same from 2.0 to 3.2. We
Okay.
did not make big changes at that level. So windowing is the same, file handling is the same, memory handling is the same.
Hmm.
We
Well-
worked on the middle layer and the application layer.
Well, everything I can say on my computer that the 2.4 always works stable, but the 3.0 sometimes is just crashed away, while the 2.4 works. I never had problems. I have installed both of them on the hard drive on the same installation. The 2.4 works, but the 3.1 doesn't work.
did you try to wipe your profile?
What?
Did you try to wipe your profile? On the
Should I do so?
It could help.
It could be 3.1 is trying to use more shared memory and you're running out.
Hmm.
I don't know.
That
Yeah, I'll try this.
Maybe OpenOffice 3 requires more memory. It could be.
Well, the
Because
system has
the
3
more features of
gigabyte.
application are bigger.
Oh. So, but this only means the shared memory, not the main memory. Because the system has 3 gigabyte, it should be enough for it.
And the problem is that OS2 is loading DLL
Yeah.
in the low memory.
Okay.
So you can have 3 gigabytes, 4 gigabytes. It doesn't make a difference.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
For example, we are waiting, Knut is working on a new loader for OS2 binaries.
Yeah.
And if we get this loader, we will be able to load applications in the high memory.
Okay.
And this one will give us a lot of features. So
Yeah,
we
this
will
would be
remove a
helpful.
huge memory requirement. Will be no longer a problem.
Is there any time frame when this work's done?
Knut is very busy.
Well-
Very busy is not a good description.
Who is not very busy
Anyway,
in the community? So, of the skilled developers, I will say. Everybody of them.